What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Dead on Dave, and here we are live. Well, no, not live at all. No, we're not live. I got into a thing there. No, we're not live at all. This is a very recorded version of the NXT review. I got into a Dead on Dave thing. Oh, just went to auto robot mode. Oh well, and I'm not restarting the recording, so there you go. Anyways, we are here to do your NXT review. I didn't watch it live last night. No, I waited and I watched it this morning because I live in Germany and I needed some sleep. So let's get right into the NXT world, shall we? It was a pretty damn good episode, I thought, overall. They did a lot of good things throughout the entirety of the episode that kept you engrossed. We saw a return. We saw a debut. And, of course, we saw Shinsuke. And that's all that's important. But we also saw something else. And it happened very early on in the show. So, we saw Corey Graves become this generation's version of Bobby Heenan. Now, before some of you have a heart attack, Elizabeth, I'm coming to join you, honey. Before that happens, relax. Nobody will ever be Bobby the Brain Heenan. Nobody can. Nobody should attempt it. Nobody will. However, Corey Graves has the wit, the quickness, and just that little hint of nastiness that Bobby had. And he can certainly become this generation's Bobby the Brain Heenan. And there is a difference. I'm not saying he is Bobby the Brain Heenan, but he certainly is the closest thing that we might ever see in our generation. He's fantastic. And he proved it to me during the opening match, the Ty Dillinger versus Oney Lorcan match. Yes. Oney Lorcan, who is Biff Busick, Chris Gerard. If you know him from other names, he's a really, really stiff, hard-hitting son of a bitch. That guy, he's really good. He's nasty, and we saw it in this match, too. Really good stuff. Ty got questioned by Corey Graves at the beginning of the match, and then somewhere throughout it, Phillips decided to echo the same sentiment that Corey had, and then this exchange happened. Tom Phillips said, "You just said that at the start of the match." Corey Graves came back with, "I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe if you can find the playback, I'll agree with you. But I'm not admitting to anything until I hear it." Phillips says, "You know, you can watch this stuff on the network." And Graves hammers it home with a very Bobby Heenan-like, "That means I'd have to endure you twice in a week." How good is that? Corey Graves is the absolute man, and I love him. Yes, I love Corey Graves. And I don't care who knows it. So, yeah, I just really wanted to highlight that. As for the match itself, I thought Ty Dillinger is coming into this, I don't know what to call it. He's maturing, but people are going to see it as a regression because he's losing. But I see it as losing to build you up. He got screwed over by his 10 chance tonight. Now, I don't think they should drop the 10 gimmick, and I hope that they're not going to. But this being embraced by the fans can certainly be turned around a little bit by Ty, and I think he's going to do that. He's going to go back to more of his heelish roots, which what he always was, but he kind of gave into the faciness of this gimmick a little bit, not too much, but the losing can certainly help him morph into something greater, and I hope that's what's going to happen. He is so good in the ring. It's a damn shame if he... Now, like, everybody talks about Damian Sandow and all these guys who get released and never got a chance. Ty Dillinger would actually be a serious loss if he never gets a chance at a bigger stage, because he is effing awesome. Yes, he is. He is great. He's great. He's not good. He's great, and I see a lot in him. He's got the charisma, the talent. He's an unbelievable worker. I love this guy. And he put that on display by making Biff Busick, Oney Lorcan, look fantastic. He did. I don't know if I like the name Oney Lorcan, but oh well. That's just a minor but he was really good as well. He showed that aggressiveness, which is probably what got him signed by the WWE in the first place. So it was really cool to see him. He's going to draw a lot of comparisons to Cesaro, which could hurt him. I'm not going to lie, because he looks like Cesaro. His demeanor is much like Cesaro. His match style is much like Cesaro. But his finisher is not like Cesaro. He finishes with a running blockbuster after Dillinger got distracted in the corner during a 10-punch count when the crowd was only chanting 10. He got a slight distraction. Lorcan completely jumps on him and hits that running blockbuster. Filthy. Gets the win. Really nice. Thought it was a really good spot. Next up, we saw Austin Aries backstage talking about his loss, and No Way Jose comes in to offer some words of wisdom, I guess. And you knew, if you know Austin Aries, you knew some shit was about to come No Way Jose's way. And it certainly did later on, and we'll talk about that. Well, right now, actually, because No Way Jose came out to the ring next to take on Jobby McLoseface. I guess his name is Josh Woods. I don't know who he is. We might see him again. Who knows? I doubt it. But this is all about No Way Jose. It's all about No Way Jose. Because once again, his ring style, everything about him should not work, yet it does. I'm dancing when I hear his fucking music. Everybody seems to love him. He's so goddamn big. He is huge, and that's what makes this work. That's what makes this work. It's harder for a, like prime example, the Vaudevillains. As much as I like them in the ring and what they're able to do, their gimmick has been toned down in WWE from where it was at its height in NXT, because it just has a natural disadvantage of not working. Because the Vaudevillain act, it would work if it was bigger guys. It doesn't seem to have the same effect when it's two smaller guys trying to be that same way. Yeah, it has a little bit of charm, but it quickly wears off. But when you have a big guy doing a smaller guy's routine, the happy dancing guy, but when you're a big, massive guy and you can turn it on and be aggressive, it works. And that's why No Way Jose has been so successful. After the match, out comes Aries. Aries is like, I want to thank you. And he does such a good job interacting with the crowd. The crowd is kind of booing him. He's like, nice to see you too, but just bear with me for a second. And this is exactly why Aries is in the NXT, by the way. Yes, I called it the NXT because it is the NXT. It's not just NXT. And of course, there's a phone call where I'm getting interrupted. Ein Moment, bitte. And we're back after a quick phone call from Tommy C. Make sure you check out Tommy C over at Shot from the Point. Anyways, No Way Jose, like I was saying with this whole thing with Austin Aries comes out, and I love the way he worked with the crowd. He worked the crowd well, and then he actually danced. Austin Aries danced, and it was fucking hilarious. But you knew what was coming. We all could feel it. We could feel it calling in the air tonight. Oh, Lord. That's right. And Austin Aries lays him out on the table. More great back and forth between Graves and Phillips throughout this, because Graves just wants to dance to No Way Jose. But Phillips was like, no, you sit there. It was good stuff. I mean, all of it was great. And then eventually, Aries just knocks fucking Jose's face off, which was great. I love the whole thing. I also dig Jose's finisher in the ring, by the way. He did win his match against Jobby McLoseface. I can't remember his name. I already forgot about him. After that, William Regal is backstage with Nakamura. Nakamura talking about the Balor match. And Murphy comes in to interrupt and demanding respect as a top guy. And Nakamura's like, yeah, I'll take you up on that, buddy. But he said it in broken Japanese, English thing that we couldn't understand. But still, he said it nonetheless. We all knew what it meant. Ass kickery. That's what we knew. So that match was going to be main eventing. And we'll talk about that in a moment. Moving on to Bayley making her long-awaited return against Deonna Purrazzo. And I got to be honest, I was not impressed with Bayley's return. I felt it was too campy. I felt it was too jumpy. She seemed a little rusty, which is weird because she wasn't actually hurt. And I know she was still doing her thing in the ring, But I don't know if it was Deanna's fault. I have no idea. But I didn't love this match. I love Bayley because she's so hot and she's great at what she does most of the time. But I felt this match was kind of sloppy, kind of all over the place, and didn't do a lot to really get me invested in Bayley's return, which I'm a little sad to say that. I just think her run in NXT is over. I think that's what it really is. I don't really see a need for her to have a return match, especially just one-on-one with Asuka. I don't see another match between those two being better than the first. So if she's going to be involved, it seems more likely to have a triple threat with Nia Jax. That makes more sense, but even that, I'm not fully invested in saying. I just kind of want to see Bayley go up now. I want to see Bayley evolve. She's been in NXT forever, and she's been a top NXT player for a very, very long time. So I just think it's time to move on. And as much as I like some of these new girls, Deanna being one of them, I like Deanna Purrazzo quite a bit. It's just time to let them kind of grow and move up with amongst themselves. So I think ladies like her, maybe even take out all three of the top people in the division currently. Nia Jax, Asuka, and Bayley, and you move them up. Now you might be saying, oh, it's leaving the cupboard bare. But let's see if the women can survive with Carmella and Alexa Bliss as the top two women. I mean, that's what we need to find out. That's the question that needs to be answered. So let's go ahead and do that now. More women, big women. And look, Athena is still not yet to make her debut. So she could be another one of these women who really becomes that next leading woman in the division. So I don't buy this, well, the division would die without those three. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I think it's time. So, and this match really made me aware of that. So we'll see what happens. Moving on from that, we got, speaking of Carmella and Alexa Bliss, they had a little backstage segment that I really enjoyed. I enjoyed Alexa. I really enjoy her new fashion, too, some of the new things she's wearing. And, you know, Carmella, as much as I do criticize her in-ring ability, which I think is rudimentary at best, I do like her. I love her. There's something about her. And I want to see a long program with her and Alexa Bliss, but I definitely want to see it over the NXT Women's Championship. So hopefully that'll be the case, but we'll see. By the way, in case you needed more reasons to fear Samoa Joe, we got another package highlighting Samoa Joe, just reminding everybody of the monster that is under your bed. Holy God, he's terrifying. Nia Jax, and another kind of lackluster match, but really not really in some ways, you know, with Liv Morgan, who she's already beaten the holy hell out of. The best part of the match is when Corey Graves kind of, when he blasts Liv Morgan from being from New Jersey. That's the best part of it. So again, Corey Graves making his mark on it. The match itself had a lot of slop to it, but Nia Jax is so big, she is hard to unless you're just going to have her squash everybody, which I'm not a fan of. You're going to take some of these times where it's going to look a little sloppier because she's so massive and it's hard to work with. It just is. There's no right way to work with a woman like that. Bayley, Asuka, the best women in the business, they look sloppy at times because of the mass of Nia Jax. And if you don't realize just how rare and special it is, look at someone like, rest her soul, Bertha Faye, who was not overly great, but she was a spectacle. Nia Jax is really on a different level as far as big women, because she is not comparable to Bertha Faye. Nia Jax is actually an athlete. She's very impressive. Now, that's no disrespect to Bertha Faye, but Bertha Faye was an attraction, nothing more. She had, I'm sorry, I was never like, oh, wow, look at her. Nia Jax, I see athletic ability there that you just don't see in a woman her size, but that makes it even harder to work with. So it's forgivable, and I like the ending when Liv started to get some good offense going on and then just getting brutally powerbombed for the victory for Nia Jax. I enjoyed that. After that, it's main event time. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Buddy Murphy. I'm going to give Murphy all the credit in the world here. See the credit? All of it goes to Buddy Murphy, because let me tell you something. When you are told to go out there and just get your ass kicked, And that's what he was told to do tonight. I guarantee, go out there and just take this one, kid, because Shinsuke is going to beat you up really bad. Murphy got in virtually no offense, very little. But my God, did he really help sell the vicious side of Shinsuke Nakamura, which we have not really seen to this point yet in his NXT run. We've seen the jovial side. We've seen the side, the playful and all of that. He turned it up in this match, and he punished Buddy Murphy at times, screaming in his face, the anger, all of it. I mean, it was beautiful to watch. A different story, a different side to Shinsuke Nakamura, and it's because of Buddy Murphy's ability to get his ass kicked and sell at Dolph Ziggler proportions. Fantastic. Fantastic. Also, it was announced that Shinsuke Nakamura will face Finn Balor on NXT on July 13th, which I think I had that. I knew they weren't going to stretch it all the way out to NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. So a first match between the two will be July 13th, which I don't think has been recorded. And I got a feeling it might be one of those situations like the Sami Zayn match from a while back. I can't remember who he wrestled, but it was 2 out of 3 falls, and it went Samoa Joe, and it went the entire length of the night. I think the same thing can happen, and it could be fucking spectacular. So we'll see. I really enjoyed this NXT. I thought it was very entertaining. Once again, showing different dimensions to the NXT game, which is so much fun. So it's the best thing on television because it's just different every single week. They don't always have to highlight the top people in the company, but when they do, it feels special. Now, Shinsuke is on every week, essentially, because he needs to be. I think you really want everyone to know who he is because he's not going to be in NXT for a year or 2 years. He's going to be 6 months from now. Should be up to WWE. And if he's not, it's kind of a crime. And when he is up there, they don't want any doubt in anybody's mind about the type of reaction he's going to get. They're inundating the fans with Shinsuke Nakamura, and it's exactly what they should be doing. So, great stuff. I hiccuped, but that's okay. Great stuff out of NXT. I really enjoyed it. Tell me what you guys think of this week's NXT. I want to hear from you. Either put it in the comment section below, put it in the comment section, or go ahead and hit me up on the Twitters at DeadOnDaveV to let me know what you think of this week's episode. That's all I've got, really. I'm not sure if I'm doing live SmackDown tonight. I am leaning towards that, though. I got to be honest, because I'm going to go watch it right now, so I'm going to watch it early. Take my notes, and then be ready to wake up at 3:45 in the morning and do the review live. I'm leaning towards that. So more than likely right after SmackDown, come catch the copious review right here on Dead on Dave Productions. Hope you guys have yourselves a fantastic day, and we'll see you a little bit later on. Like, subscribe, and share. And as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. Keep it copious, folks. Peace.